You're such an asshole.
I hate being sick. Oh. So we have a request. If you have a request, you can go to assholeconsulting.com. This was just it's harsh, but it's short and easy. Hey Aaron, I want to keep you anonymous a little bit. You've mentioned in a few videos lately about girlfriends bothering men when they are working. Yep, because you don't exist. It's only me, 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 me. Solipsism on parade. I work from home in a STEM field. My girlfriend is an elementary school teacher. I can't slam on you too much because every once in a while you do. I mean, not all the teachers are bad, but man, you went with, I mean, really low IQ. I'll give you the short version. We'll read through it. But basically, this girl keeps bothering her boyfriend while he's working. And critique professional women as you might, or truly independent women. This isn't an issue of female or male. This isn't an issue of IQ. Man, there are girls who are just so dumb. You could tell them 8 times, don't do that. And they don't. It's an intelligence issue. Now, there's a predisposition because women be womaning all the time and like they want to talk, and that's natural. And there's nothing wrong with that. But man, there's been times, man, we've all been there. Don't do X. Okay. 20 seconds later, they're doing X. Like, did you fucking hear what I said? And they take on the role of a child at this point. This is where it helps to listen, and this is for everybody. You really got to understand that is another person that has every right to their time in life and preferences. And you really need to listen to other people, not merely wait for your turn to talk about yourself. And when somebody says something out of respect and acknowledgement, that person is a sovereign human being and exists, and is not just an NPC here to entertain you and serve you. You need to acknowledge other humans exist. They have the right to their peace and whatever the preferences might be. And that if they have a request of you to not do something, they should do that. But I can tell you right now, the fact that in one ear, out the other, they don't view you as a human being. I mean, it may not be malicious. I think it's just truly stupid. And they don't make the change. My girlfriend is a low IQ person, or in a low IQ profession, and is home for the summer. Not getting married, she already knows, but I moved in her place 6 months ago. Well, we all can't bat 1,000. I keep my office door closed, headphones usually on, but I still get texts from her asking me questions about shit that doesn't need to be answered then. I'm not saving lives or anything with my job, but my intense focus is needed. And every time she interrupts me, it could take an hour or so to get back on track into the zone. Dude, that happens with writing for me. But my girlfriend obeys. Although she was smart enough to know, like, you know, I'm in my room. I keep the door closed. Now, in defense of all women everywhere, every once in a while, the fairy of stupidity blesses them, and they'll just walk in, which is why my door is always locked. However, God, it's been probably 10 years since she just accidentally walked in. Like, I don't hear her bumping into the door because my girlfriend's not an idiot. She realizes I'm a sovereign human being. And when I said, don't come in the door, but it's like, when I'm not in there, you can go in there and do whatever you want. But if I'm in there, you don't come in. But I lock it anyway, just in case we have the stupid fairy comes and makes a visit. So everyone is trainable. And every time she interrupts me, it could take an hour or so to get back on track. Looking for a couple ways to deal with this. Let me know the costs. So then I said, does she get upset if you don't respond for an hour? It is more that I have told her to leave me alone, the fuck alone, during 8 to 5 and text if she needs something, and I may respond, but she's texting me about crap that isn't important, expecting me to drop what I am doing to deal with her stuff. Okay. I'll finish this rest. I'm ready to tell her I will rent an apartment over the summer on the beach a few states away so I could get some work done without distractions. Not sure why this makes me so angry. It's making you angry because she is not respecting you. First, it's delaying your work. Let me explain something to you. I know this is going to be funny. I'm going to try and explain something to women about men, okay? See, real men have this goal, right? There is a lot, but there is a finite amount of work a man has to do in his life. The point of which he reaches, then he will be free, okay? They can reach retirement. And the reason they want to do that is so they can spend time with you. They don't want to be working all the time. Now, you come in there with your really girly, batty brain beaker, and you really, one interruption, a 1 minute interruption can delay the project by 5 minutes. They just don't get it. They really don't. I'll be working. Like, what do you do? And I know you girls are interested. We are not interested in our work, if that makes any sense. We don't want to have to sit and explain to you what we're doing because we don't like the work we're doing. We're doing it to make money or to make the housework or whatever, so that we can have free time to spend with you. But when you get in there, it's like delaying a prison sentence because you're bored. Now, I understand the human desire to interact and talk, but I don't think women understand that doing that enslaves us more to the work we don't want to be doing. And while we appreciate you might have an interest in the work we don't, it still increases the amount of work. It's like Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan. I want to get home to my wife, and the quickest way to that is through Berlin. That's it. He wants to get back to his wife. We kind of want to get back to you. But if you're going to delay that and be a liability, not only is that going to anger us, delay the amount of time, it's going to make us not want to get back to you. And that's where mistresses come in. And oh my God, I'm leaving. Bye. I'm so angry, Bobby. I'm a kindergarten teacher. I have now attempted that. That concludes my attempt to explain things to women about men. I'm sure go whoop when one. Is there like a super highway between the two ears? It just shit goes through it really super fast. Not sure why this makes me so angry when she is sweet and thin and treats me well. Maybe I have the TISM and BPD. No. I think we need 50 years of men saying the problem isn't me, it's you. I think we're entitled to that. You don't have autism or BPD. She's not listening to you. That's the minimum amount. This increases the amount of work you have to do. It enslaves you more. That alone will piss you off. And then the fact she's not listening to you means, consciously or not, she's not respecting your decision. And I honestly, I just think she's dumb. Which, not everyone's a genius, but that might. Let's use this. This is a safe cloth. That's got to be aggravating somewhat. So you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And you're not married. Doesn't seem like you guys have been together all that long. But this needs to be nipped in the bud. This is part of girl training. It would also be part of guy training, where you respect each other's wishes. And what's really concerning here is that she's not listening to you. That is it's solipsism, or the video game syndrome, where I'm the only person that exists, and everything else that I see, everyone else isn't a real human being. They're just a video game. They're just bits and bytes. I'm not actually shooting a German soldier. That's just a bit and a byte. You're just the boyfriend NPC, and you're supposed to do what I want. That is what would be concerning to me. Then you had an interesting here. Did you go salsa dancing in Loring Park or other places close to the U of M campus around 2000 2005? Yeah, I did actually. That was pretty much ground zero for it. Loring Pasta Cafe, that's closed. Babalu, Tiburon. But the women, the women who loves the illegal aliens, oh my gosh, she just loves them so much. The middle-aged women who didn't get enough white dick. Tibaroon, I'm going to dance the salsa at Tibaroon. Antonio understands me. He understands a green card. I swear we had known each other long before I heard of you as Captain Capital from Insta Pundit Post. Yeah, we had to. That's prime time. I was there. I'm sure we crossed paths. We must have. We might even bang some of the same gals. Curious why you're out there at that time. Anyway, let's go to my notey notes. All right. This is a problem that a relationship will not sustain. In other words, this problem has to be solved, or there will not be a relationship. For several reasons. One, it's critical that you do your work uninterrupted so you can make the most amount of money and spend the least amount of time doing it so it is not delayed. That's one reason. The second reason, which I think is the most important reason, is she is not listening to you or respecting you. And I hate to use that, like in certain cultures, ain't got no respect. Like this is just air that you get out of there. I'm not using it as some bland platitude word. No, it's very important she recognize you as a human being that made a request and she's not listening to you. Now, I don't care if it's because she's arrogant or solipsistic or she's just dumb. It doesn't matter, right? We had the conversation before about, well, does she really have bipolar disorder or is she just faking BPD? It doesn't matter. In either case, it's not acceptable. And that's the second problem. And the third one that kind of concerns me is, you said these are not important issues. She wants you to solve her problems. Holy shit, dude. Like I've seen that. You'll see these impressive women. And they're young, like back when I was younger, of course, and they've got their own place and they got their driver's license and doing the thing. And they like, oh, that's impressive. And then you start dating them and then they just like hammock time and they fall in and they expect you to take care of all this shit. Like, what did you do before I was here? What do you mean you got a flat tire? Go take care of it. And man, the fact she's basically, she chose an adult child major, early childhood education. I presume that's her major, which is pros and cons, which is motherly and feminine. But then it's just like, dude, I can't imagine what these requests are. That means she's a liability, probably not only financially, but also in terms of your time. Like she's just this hapless girl child who can't, oh my God, this didn't work. And what do I do? What did you do before I was here? So they don't sound like real problems, or if they are real problems, she just can't deal with, like, it doesn't sound like any emergencies were happening. So she's got no filter. Again, she's kind of dumb. I'm afraid it's a combination of everything. Yeah, she's sweet and hot and skinny. Will blind you to a lot of things. So here's Dr. Cappy's prescription. I would film this conversation because I honestly don't think she's got the intelligence and the awareness to realize, hey, I told you not to pick up the blue paper. You keep picking up the blue paper. What the fuck is wrong with you? So you need to record this, and we're going to do it. There will be an escalation. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have a clear conversation and lay down some very clear consequences if she doesn't listen to you. You say, just assume it's not malicious and she truly is dumb, which is a possibility. I'm a teacher. And explain it. I have tremendous amounts of work to do. My goal is to get this done as quickly as possible so I can spend undivided attention and fun time with you. I told you before not to interrupt me with small, petty problems or anything at all until I'm done with work. You keep doing this. And when there's an example or whatever, don't get angry. This is the stoic, above all that time. You have just texted me about some bullshit thing. I can only imagine what goes through an elementary school teacher's mind that's very important on summer. Oh my God, my phone brightness isn't bright enough. I can only imagine. This is not acceptable. You are never going to do this again. And if you do it again, I'm going to go to wherever it is that you want to go for the summer so that I can actually get my work done. And what I would also do, look, I mean, if you're to stay with her forever, this is going to happen every summer, right? And you got to nip this in the bud. Say, so I'm leaving, but since you can't, you get one more chance at this to follow this very important requirement, not a rule, a requirement I have. And if you don't do it, well, then obviously I can't be here. We can't cohabitate. You leave, or certainly not during summer. So summertime, I'm not here, or I'm going to get my own place. That's the only thing, man. And for whatever it's worth, well, then the relationship might end. You know what? Yeah, it might. And that's better than you being aggravated and pissed by someone who doesn't listen to you or respect you or is too stupid to know to respect. Like, I don't care if they're faking BPD or they actually have bipolar. I don't care. Okay? It doesn't matter at the end. It's not an acceptable situation to you. And what men have got to get, you have got to be willing to walk away. Because the only thing I've found that works, you say, how'd you train your girl? I said, you're going to do this or I'm gone. This will not happen or I'm gone. You never get married. And it's sad, guys, but you never like, oh my God, she's my being and my purpose. No. This girl, unless they are phenomenal, and that's up for women to prove, where they are wind in your sails, not gravel in your engine. Until that is proven, they are all a complication and something to, it's another human being. You're going to have to negotiate. You're going to have to it's a team. There are accommodations you have to make, but you must be willing to walk away from them at any time. It's that simple. And a lot of people say, well, don't give them that old. No, give them go right to the nuclear option. There's none of this. Like, okay, we're going to try reason and logic. That's why I want you to film it. So when she does it again, do you remember this conversation? What's this text? I just felt there's no feeling. And this is where I say there's no crying and there's no arguing. There isn't. Here's what happened. Is this what happened? Okay, I'm packing up my shit. I'll see you later. You have to be willing to say, there's the door. You either change this behavior, do this thing, whatever it is, or it's over. And unfortunately, that puts men and women in a perpetual state of temporary relationship because you girls just aren't capable of it, frankly. Now, men aren't great either. Men have a lot of, you guys got to stay in shape. And there's and probably guys do this too. But yeah, man, I think maybe because they're the more pursued sex, especially when they're younger and everyone dotes on them and everyone sings their praises. So they think that they're just entitled to everything and how they want to feel at that moment in time. It's like, no, if you want my presence here, it has to be pleasant work for me too. And you gotta, it's sad, guys, but you cannot think this is the most important thing and she'll complete me. Like, no, this is a business partner. It's so sad. This is a business partner. And I'll be in this business relationship as long as it benefits me and her. I'll honor my end of the bargain. But if she keeps shitting on the carpet, I gotta go. I'm not tolerating shit on my carpet. You don't understand. I have bipolar disorder. You don't know what it's like living with BPD. I don't care. You're shitting on the carpet. I told you not to shit on the carpet. I went through a PowerPoint presentation as to why thou shalt not shit on the carpet. And yet here you are again. I even got the video of you saying, yeah, I understand. I won't shit on the carpet again. And you know what? You don't have time for this shit. And you know what? It's cool if you leave. You're the first guy to leave her, probably. And that might be a nice compromise. Like, I'm going to whatever place you were going to. I forget where. You're going to go somewhere where you could get your fucking work done. And say, I'll come back in summer when you're back at work. And that might be the sting, a 2-3 month sting. She needs your absence. Oh yeah, your absence. Like, I'll tell the girl, not out of malice or arguing. I'm just like, I'm going to go for a 2-week motorcycle ride. She's like, okay, babe, have fun. I'll book the flights. I'll book the hotels when and then you come back. Hey, babe, you kind of miss each other a little bit. I think it'd be a great idea. Because here's the thing. I almost wouldn't have this conversation. Another piece of me wants to say, you know she's going to text you again for some fucking done. They can't help themselves because that would require thought and following discipline and rules and acknowledging you're another human being who says, I don't want you to shit on the carpet. You're going to shit on the carpet again, right? And you say, yeah, this isn't working. I'm going to go to wherever it is you're going for the next 2 months for the rest of summer. I'm going to get my shit done. So when you're back, and if you want, you can come visit on weekends. I'll come visit on weekends, but you're not listening to me. I've told you several times to stop texting me about dumb shit. You keep texting me about dumb shit. I got to get work done. This is not possible. So I'm going to go here. If you want, we can hang out in the weekends. And then she'll cry. You say, no crying. This guy on the internet says we should all be like Vulcans and say, put on your big girl panties. What's the problem? I told you not to do that. And you keep doing that. And again, I wouldn't even hate the girl because really, elementary school teacher, we're not talking fucking Einstein here. We're not talking Socrates or some deep philosopher. Oh, that is a fellow human being who's displeased by this thing I do. I should perhaps stop doing it as respect for the sovereignty of this individual and his mind. And I just feel why can't the kids read? Yeah, somehow you're putting a line in there. Cross this line again. I'm leaving. I guess you owe her that much. Like, here's the deal, dear. I need to get my work done. If you see this text you just sent me, I don't have time for. And you had. Like, why do you respond to her texts? Like, I'm imagining you're in your room. She sends you stupid ditzy text. Beep 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 boop boop boop. And you're like, oh God, I got to respond. Why don't you just turn off your phone? She says, I texted you. What it is? I told you I don't respond to texts. But you've already told her that. So I think now is the time. Yeah, like, okay, babe, what is this? Do you remember the conversation we had? All right. I can't deal with this disrespect and you ignoring me as a human being. And when I say something, you're not doing it. So I'm leaving now for the rest of summer. If you want to come out on weekends when I got time off, that's cool. But I need to get my work done. And you obviously are not making that possible. And being perfectly honest, if she cries, she can't tolerate this. If this causes a blow up, yeah, no, man. It's good to find that out now before you have to like negotiate with a pulled tooth so that it can end. And just like, yeah, you know what? You're a real sweet, nice, hot girl. But man, you are ditzy and absent-minded and lacking of being aware other people exist. And so that's what I would do. That's the salute. Yeah, man, it sucks. It sounds like she's a nice girl and she's cute and hot and she treats you nice. But I don't know about you, but me, I've had several girls get in between me and my work. Yeah, it's working so well. I'm like, oh, okay. Do you have money? Your dad have money? Can I get some of the money your dad gives you? No? All right, get the fuck out. Oh my God, just like bare leg. I have to work. There's a budget. I'm sorry. I don't have mom and dad paying for my fucking college. Are you going to give me money? Your dad going to give me money? You're not? Okay, well, get the fuck out. That pissed me off. I remember dating a couple gals that wouldn't even like, hey, could you help find me a job maybe at the company you're working at? Like, I'd like to have a job with health insurance. Oh, I don't know if you'd fit. Well, and then don't bitch about me not having time. Oh, girl world. Everything is perfect, and why is it? It's your fault. I don't know how math, logic and math. What are you talking about? Though in defense, there were some gals, engineers. They understood, but maybe it was just bad luck. But those STEM gals were really apprehensive about sex. They really were afraid of it. Like they really didn't. No, I don't know. So it never ever went more than 2 or 3 dates. But yeah, on time, they'd offer to pay, and smart too. I enjoyed it. But then when it came to like being a human, well, we can do this, but not this. Like, remember that 8th grade bullshit? But you're like 27. We can do this, but we can't do that. And you're like, yeah, I'm going home, man. Now, I lived in the 80s once. I don't need to do it again. That's you have your fun shoots and ladders rules game with some other dope. I'm here for sex, and if we're not, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna go home now. Link below is the book of numbers, analyzing the ROI in the pursuit of women. Please read it. You're a STEM guy. Go read it if you haven't read it. Yeah, I'll tell you, and you get older, you get less and less patience for that bullshit. Because like the veneer of the say, it wears off, and you're like, okay, you have no idea. I mean, you're in love and you want to like go out and have fun, but you have no idea how much time they waste with just mindless jibber jabber. You're like, look, hang on. Especially as you get older, you start making money. Like, look, well, I understand now why the wealthy guys they get coma loans, keep her off my ass loans. Like, yeah, look up coma, KHOMA, keep her off my ass loans. Because I'm a doctor now, I'm a surgeon, or I'm an executive, right? Especially guys my age. Like, and now you like get her out of here. You're basically, you don't have the money to take out a coma loan so Bipsy can go run some bobble shop during summertime. So yeah, you got to have this conversation, and you need, dude, getting in the way of your work. That's not a negotiable thing. It's not a negotiable thing. Femboy Fantasia, $5. There are multiple ancient myths about not obeying a spouse's boundaries. In Japanese myth, it led to the creation of death on Earth. Really? Femboy, can you email me the link to that? I'd love to. The ancients knew it. They knew it. The Real Uncle Hector, $2. Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall in The Shining. Oh, that's right. All right. I need to set some rules. Doesn't she come in and like, you want some food? Dude, you could have, like a military installation, like do not enter landmines, nuclear wastes, smelly people, whatever, barbed wire, guns. Girls would still like, oh, maybe they want a cupcake. La 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 la. And I don't want to sound like too cold-hearted of a bastard. They just want to like talk to you, but man, it's they want, I want. Why are you doing the thing I want, me, want? I know the guys all talk about, look, girls, it's real easy to get a guy. Be sweet, be thin, have sex, probably, also show up on time. Don't have another man's kids. We're talking like 5 really simple rules, but there's like this PhD level you could get where it's be interesting. Don't bother him when he's working. Like there's all these, and then like you could become this super wife. Like, I want to be a wife. Well, then don't be a wife. But there's all these things that aren't that hard. You just simple rules you got to follow. And man, you can make a guy real happy. Just, oh no, don't you go. Remember the olden days when your father's in that room, you don't go in that room. You don't even knock on that. I still remember my old man. Don't you go in there. You don't go in there. The door's open, you go in. If it's closed, you don't go in there. Coach JR, 5 Canadian. The point of being a man is putting yourself in the best position you can, so you do not tolerate their BS. That's the point of Red Pill as a whole. Yeah. I mean, you got to make a living. That's one thing that irked me is the girls that liked you always wanted more of your time. And when you're younger, you don't have that much time because it all has to be spent working and getting out of debt or whatever else, establishing yourself. They never understood it. They never understood it. Yeah. I remember one gal called me up crying because I hadn't called her in 3 or 4 days. I'm like, I'm working. Plus, you don't have sex. So what the fuck? Alex Patino, a truck driving Latino, with a snide comment. Did you ever have patience, Cappy? No, because there's no extra resources to afford it. Patience is a luxury, and patience is for losers. Patience is for Ruby. Just be patient. No, fuck you. I value my life too much. No, I don't have patience is a weakness. That's not a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Patience is not a virtue. Somebody fucked up in the supply chain, and now you're sitting there wasting your time. For your information, Bob, fellas, if your girl texts you, what's up, you say, my Jimmy. My Jimmy. You just say, I'm busy. Early on, guys, it really helps. My car broke down. Go fix it. Remember how? You guys remember this in Cappy history 15 years ago or so? People are like, you charge your girlfriend rent? Oh my God, what a bastard. And then I'm like, and then you wonder why she's like, got her shit together now? I told you guys the story, right? She got the car. She flew into the Twin Cities. She gets the car. It had a flat. You know what she did? She fixed it. She didn't call me up. Later on that night, you have your nightly talk. Hey, what's up, babe? She's like, oh, hey, yeah, the car had a flat. I got it fixed. And you all can't understand how holding your woman up to standards and requirements early on leads to responsible, what's the word I'm looking for? Responsible woman that you get along with. You guys are congruent. You guys are compatible. A compatible woman who isn't a liability, who's an asset. Well, I don't know. Stop treating like a Look, if you guys stop treating these girls like suburbanite princesses, like their daddies did, then maybe they grow up in the real world and take on some responsibility. But you're like, I'm an elementary school teacher. Wow, why isn't she changing her own oil? There you guys go. I'll see you guys later, Toodles.